Hello everybody, I'm Jude and this is Lammy and welcome to a special edition of Little Lamb Tales this week. It's Halloween this weekend, so we thought we'd do a special story to do with that. As you can see, Lammy's dressed as a pumpkin and he looks very smart, and I'm dressed as a witch. Now, sometimes people think witches are a bit mean and horrid, but I've got a story about a different witch. This is a little poem I wrote about her first. It's called Poor Little Witch. The poor little witch is terribly sad. Everyone thinks she's really bad. She likes making potions and spells, it's true, but only the kind that are good for you. So don't boo and hiss if you see her tonight. Just give her a wave in the pale moonlight. I'm going to tell you a story about our witch. Her name's Gertie. But first of all, you need to meet somebody else from the story. This is our wise old owl. It goes like this. Once upon a time, a long time ago, when all around here was just woods and trees, there was an old tree at the edge of the forest, and in that tree lived the owl. Now, the thing was, Owl had got a bit bored with living in this tree. You see, he was the only owl in that part of the wood, and he had nobody to talk to. So one day, he got up in the night, he thought, I know, I'm going to wait until it gets a bit daytime, and I'm going to ask some people if they will let me move in with them, and then I won't be lonely. So as it got towards when the sun started to come up, he flew down and he spotted a squirrel. He went over and he said, Hi, Mr. Squirrel, do you think I could come and live with you? You like living in trees. And the squirrel looked at the owl and said, It would be lovely, but you like to come out at night, and we go to bed at night. You see, you're just about to go to bed and we've just got up. I don't really think it would work. I know. Why don't you speak to Badger? He comes out at night. I'm sure he'd love to share a house with you. All right, said the owl. And so off he toddled. He spent the day snoozing, and when it got dark he got up and he flew down to speak to Badger, who was in his set, which is where they live. He knocked on the door. Badger, I'm getting a bit lonely living in my tree. Do you think I could come and live with you in your tree? You like coming out at night. And the badger said, You're right, Owl. I do like coming out at night. We're both nocturnal, but I don't fly and you do. So I don't think it would work. Why don't you speak to the birds? They like flying. All right, good idea, said the owl. So the next day he went and he spoke to the birds in the trees, in the next tree along, and he said, Hi, as you know, I'm Owl. I live in the other tree just there. I'm getting a bit lonely. I just wondered if you'd mind if I moved into this tree with you. And the birds looked at him and said, Well, it wouldn't really work, you see. Yes, we like to fly like you, and yes, we like to live in trees, but we don't come out at night. You do. I'll tell you something, though. We've heard something. In the middle of the woods, there's a cave. And in that cave, there lives a witch. And she likes coming out at night, and she likes to fly on her broomstick. Why don't you go and ask if you can live with her? With a witch? Said the owl. Well, she might not be that bad, but they put spells on people, and I don't want to be turned into a frog or a pumpkin. Oh, well, just try it. You never know. So the owl swallowed, and he tried to convince himself that he was feeling brave, and he flew. And he flew until he found the middle of the forest, and as he looked down, there was a cave. And as it started to get dark, he heard noises coming from inside the cave, and he flew down and he peeped, and when he looked inside, he could see a witch with her cauldron putting things in it and saying words. And he thought, oh no. And the witch turned and said, Who's there? He said, Oh, it's just me. It's me, Owl. I was just wondering if I could come and talk to you. Oh, of course, come in. She said, I've just made a nice cup of tea made from dandelions and dragon's claws. Would you like a bit? Sounds lovely, said the owl, who didn't really think it sounded lovely at all. But he took a cup just to be polite. And they sat down around the cauldron, and the witch said, So, what is it you need from me? What can I help you with? And the owl said, Well, you see, what it is I live in a tree at the other side of the woods, but I'm all by myself. I'm trying to find somewhere else I can live, but the trouble is, I need somebody who goes out at night and likes to fly. And somebody said that maybe you might be interested. What a wonderful idea, said the witch. You see, you might be able to help me. Everybody thinks and knows that owls are wise, and everybody thinks that I'm mean just because I'm a witch, but all my spells are good spells, only make good things happen. If you come and live with me, maybe you could go and tell everybody that I am good, and because you're a wise owl, they'll all believe you. That sounds like a really good deal to me, said the owl. And so the next day he went back to his tree and he got all his belongings and he moved back in to Gertie's cave. And you know something? Ever since then, they've lived there happily and content. And now everybody in the whole wood knows that Gertie is really a lovely witch. And they come and see her for their cups of tea. And everybody pretends they like it, even though it's disgusting. The end. If you liked our story, remember you can tweet about it or follow us on Facebook. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time.